Hello, lads and lasses. Just going to give y'all my quick rundown for UFC Fight Night. Sean Brady versus Gilbert Burns. This is my very first video, so please be gentle, right? I know my camera sucks. I know my mic sucks. I know all that stuff. But I do want to just talk about the fights. So our very first fight is Ramashka versus Fletcher. Fletcher is a stud. There's no other way around it. He did great on the regional scene. However, he is small. Ramashka has him by 3 or 4 inches in height. I don't think Fletcher has the speed advantage. I don't think he has the grappling advantage. In my personal opinion, Ramashka takes it. Again, working on my notes here. It's a rookie setup. However, this is my very first video. So if y'all like it or you just have any notes, by all means, let me know. Second fight, Andre Petrosky versus Dylan Budka. Although I think Dylan Budka has a pretty bad rap, people think his wrestling's overrated, you know, his cardio's whatever. When I look at Andre Petrosky, I still look at him as a overall better fighter. I mean, he had the Anaconda choke on, what was his name? Arizov or some name that ended with a V. I do think Andre Petrosky is a better fighter. I know he had a little bit of hiccup against Jacob Malkoun. You know, hit his hip, knocked himself out, whatever. I still think he's a better fighter. I'm taking Andre Petrosky for sure. Asha, come here. This is my main coon. Her name is Asha, and she is a troublemaker. You devil. However, moving on. Jacqueline Amora versus Vanessa Demopoulos. I think Jacqueline Amora, without question, is a better fighter in literally every way, shape, form, and fashion. Vanessa Demopoulos is tough. She's extremely tough. She finds a way to win. Whether or not I agree with her win or not, she finds a way to win every time. I do not think she beats Jacqueline Amora. However, I think she's too skilled on the feet, on the ground. Cardio, well, we'll see how that goes. But, sorry, that's my goose back there. Gimli, sit. I've got a farm here, so keep that in mind. Next fight, Gabriel Dos Santos, please excuse me, versus Yiza. Guy's 25-4, he's a stud. However, I do not ever, under any circumstance, pick a fighter who's showing up at the UFC for the first time, second time. You're gonna have to show something to me. Gabriel Santos, although he hasn't won all of his fights or, you know, really showed out, he's been there, done that, and he's fought the best of the best. So just me, if I'm betting, let me start this over. So I do not bet on women's fights. That's nothing against women. That doesn't say they don't have fantastic fights. However, I mean, that fight can go either way like that. So again, this is my first time trying to do the best I can. If I'm betting on fights, I'm taking Ramashka. I'm taking Andre Petrosky. I'm not betting on Jacqueline Amora, but I do predict her to win. However, I do bet on Gabriel Santos versus Yiza. I know he's got a spectacular record, but, you know, you're fighting 130-pound guys, 145-pound guys, 125-pound guys, whatever it is in Japan. Wonderful. This is the big show, so we'll see what you have. And he very well may prove me wrong. He very well may. Next fight, Andre Lima versus Felipe Dos Santos. So this is like my favorite fight of the card. I watched Andre Lima go with Igor Seravino, I think his name was, the guy that bit him. Man, both of those guys look like world beaters, in my personal opinion, in that fight. They were both extremely fast, extremely technical. Neither one of them really showed any weakness at all. They both showed heart. They both showed grit. That being said, Felipe Dos Santos is 23. He's a kid, and he's been in it, right? He's been in these fights. He's been in tough fights. Everybody and their brother is taking Felipe Dos Santos, and they should, right, due to records. I'm actually taking Andre Lima. I thought he looked really good against Igor Saravino. I thought his speed looked good. He's super young. He's impossible to take down and hold down. Again, talking about bets, Romashka, Andre Petrosky. If I had to bet, Jacqueline Amora, Gabriel Santos, I'm taking Andre Lima, dude. I know it's a weird pick, but that's who I'm taking. But I wouldn't be surprised if Felipe Dos Santos won, or Dos Santos, excuse me. Again, it's my first day. I'm not actually shaking, but I am pretty nervous. Next up, Dulgarian versus Moreau. I do not know how anyone is taking Moreau in this fight. There is no way anyone is. Dulgarian, when he fought Rodriguez, I thought he was robbed. My personal opinion, I thought the grappling, I thought he ragdolled Christian Rodriguez. Christian Rodriguez is a stud. He's 14-1, 15-1. I mean, he's winning fights, you know. He beat Rosas Jr. He finds a way to win, and I understand that, and I respect that. However, I do not see any way at all that Moreau beats Dulgarian. That's why he's like a 25-1 underdog. I mean, or favorite. He is a super stud, and I think he ragdolls Moreau. Rang Shah versus Padilla. Padilla's record is not what you would call beautiful, right? It's not a crisp, clean record. He's not 11-0. He's not 15-0. But he does have power in his hands, especially in the division. I think the speed, again, this is a little bit probably premature, but I don't think Rang Shah, from what I've seen of him, I've only watched one of his fights, to be fair, I don't think speed and power-wise he can hang with Padilla. I think Padilla catches him, and it's a second or third round knockout. I think he TKOs him, sleeps him completely. Now, on to the bread and butter of what this card is supposed to be. Trevor Peek versus Yanel Ashmus. Yanel Ashmus did look great against Sam Patterson at 155. Now, as far as I know, and I could be wrong, Sam Patterson moved up to 170, and he looked pretty good at 170. They're both 5'9", right? You look at Trevor Peek and you think, oh man, he's going to dwarf Yanel Ashmus. They're the same height. Yanel Ashmus is real short and stubby, right? Real stocky. And he does possess a load of power. He smoked Sam Patterson. And his last fight against Chris Duncan had his arm broken with a high kick in the first round and still wasn't able to be finished. He still went 2 rounds with a broken arm. That does say a lot. However, I know on paper, as Anthony Smith would say, I know on paper, Yanel Ashmus is a better fighter than Trevor Peek. I mean, he throws overhand hammer fist and whatever the hell it is he does. I don't even know how to describe it. But I actually have Trevor Peek winning this fight. I really do. I think Trevor Peek has the ability to push him so far, so fast that Ash Moose will break. That is my personal opinion. Now, that being said, I don't think for a second that with Trevor Peek running in, flailing punches like a middle school bathroom fight, I don't doubt for a second that Ash Moose could not catch him and sleep him in a heartbeat. That is absolutely a possibility. But again, if I'm betting money, I'm taking Trevor Peek. And if it comes down to a close decision, I think the UFC's behind Trevor Peek, as well they should be. Guy shows up to fight every day, and he lays it all on the line. And his fight with Chepe Mariscalco. Chepe is a lot tougher than we thought he was, right? Chepe is, please excuse the Maine Coon. Asha. Yeah, she sucks. However, Chepe Mariscalco, he's a stud. I don't see him losing at least his next 2 fights. If they put him against anyone between the top 8 and the top 15, I see Chepe absolutely winning those fights. He's ultra tough. He's a gamer. He shows up to fight. Again, this ain't about Chepe, but I'm taking Trevor Peek over Ash Moose. Matt Schnell versus Cody Durden. I hate to sound shitty, but I'm skipping this fight. I do not see Matt Schnell as the chinniest fighter. Dude, when Steve Erceg hit him with that heavy 1-2, I lost. It was so clean and so crisp. He had literally no defense. He never threw his arm up. He never did the Poirier arm down. He just took it right on the chin. I mean, took it right on the chin. I don't think Cody Durden is that well. I don't think he's a great fighter. I think he's below average, to be honest with you. I don't see any super speed. I don't see any super high level takedowns or ground game. I don't see any of that. That's just me talking. He might be the next champion. I would bet my farm he's not. But again, after watching what Steve Erceg did to Matt Schnell, to be a bantamweight not a bantamweight, please excuse me, to be a flyweight with no speed and no power, I got nothing for him. Moving on. Oh, this is my one. Garcia versus Kyle Nelson. Steve Garcia is the definition of what I would call a savage. Right? Dude shows up to fight. He's got ultra fast hands. Tough as a $2 steak. I mean, this man shows up to fight. Kyle Nelson, though, I will say this. I have bet against that man 3 times in a row. No, twice. Twice in a row. That Canuck can absolutely fight. And he is tough as shit. So, again, I'm taking Steve Garcia. I think his hands are too fast. I like Kyle Nelson. I do. I don't want to like him, but I can't help it. He's a good fighter. However, Steve Garcia he's the man, in my personal opinion. Jessica Andrade versus Natalia Silva's fine ass. Natalia Silva moves extremely well. She works well off the back foot. She works well off the teep, push kick. Jessica Andrade is extremely strong. She's an outstanding wrestler. She's got knockout power in her hands. We all know this. Andrade, I mean, she's a legend. She's a legend in women MMA. I do think Natalia Silva is way too fast. I think she's way too fast. I think her kicks are going to be the game changer here. She throws great body kicks. She throws great high kicks. She goes well off the 1-2 step back, body kick, leg kick, and then throws another combo. So to me, I don't see Andrade winning this fight. I think Natalia Silva is infinitely faster, cleaner, crisper. I think she's infinitely better trained, I should say. I think her gym does a real good job of taking her strengths and really maximizing them. She's not going to beat her with a Anaconda or a Darce or, an omoplata. She's not going to win that way. I don't think she finishes Andrade, but I do think she absolutely smokes her, kind of like Cheeto and Sean. I think the striking will be absolutely incredible. I think it will be on point. Here's the big one, boys. Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. So, we do have one fight to compare these boys, right? They both fought Bilal. Sean Brady was TKO'd in the second round. I don't want to say viciously, but kind of. Do you know what I mean? He was up against the cage. His nose is busted. Bilal's just 1-2 straight down the pipe. And, he's wrecking Sean Brady. That being said, Gilbert did, break his arm or his shoulder or whatever it is he had against Bilal. And Bilal was not able to finish him. To me personally, I don't think that is a reflection of how this fight will go. Because Bilal is not a finisher by nature, right? Bilal is not going to attempt to finish Gilbert Burns when he knows his arm's broken and he can just tee off on him and do whatever it is he wants to do the entire fight, right? Why chase a finish? Why let Gilbert Burns accidentally catch you in a takedown? Or Gilbert Burns does have heavy hands and he's got a great kicks. Why risk it, right? Just tee him up for 5 rounds, right? Do your thing, 1-2, 1-2, tee, leg kick. I think, again, hot take, you can call it whatever it is you want. I think Sean Brady TKOs Gilbert Burns. Because when I watch Sean Brady versus Bilal Muhammad, people forget that when you look at Bilal Muhammad after he won that fight, his face is mangled. Sean Brady, his back is like this wide. And he throws like the fastest 1-2s. I'm not saying he's the fastest in 1-2. What I'm saying is he does throw incredibly quick, straight down the pipe combinations. He's clearly incredibly strong. To watch what he did to Kelvin Gastelum, to walk out there with Kelvin Gastelum, previous 185 contender, to walk out there and manhandle him. Brother, it was bad. It was bad. I love Kelvin Gastelum. Well, I did. The fact that you keep missing weight, you've lost a lot of respect from me. I do like Kelvin Gastelum as a person. I think he's tough as shit. But to watch what Sean Brady did to him, honest to God, I think Sean Brady TKOs Gilbert in the 3rd or 4th round. I think the punt, because Gilbert is outstanding. ADC or AADC, whatever the hell it is. Abu Dhabi champion 3 times. He's wonderful on the ground. However, Craig Jones did leg lock him, and Sean Brady punished Craig Jones on the ground. So I don't think Gilbert Burns has an advantage on the ground or in grappling in any way. Gilbert will be silly to try to take this fight to a grappling fight. Gilbert does have lightning fast, powerful kicks. He just broke JDM, Jack Della Madalena's arm with a high kick. Gilbert can strike. He can absolutely strike. He's incredibly strong. And now that he's old, not old, but, in his latter years, I think he's really got that down. I don't think I'm not saying he doesn't train BJJ anymore or any kind of grappling, but he's done that for so long. I think now he's focused more on his striking. You saw it in the JDM fight. I mean, he really did do a good job striking with a pure striker in JDM. But I think Sean Brady catches him. I think Sean Brady catches him with a simple 1-2. Simple 1-2. Just bang, bang, right down the pipe. Sets him down. I think Sean Brady is strong enough and skilled enough on the ground to absolutely advance position. I hate to say it, I think he embarrasses Gilbert Burns out here. I really do, which sucks because I love Gilbert Burns. And that being said, 100% this can go the other way. Gilbert Burns can grab a hold of Sean Brady and he might show him who daddy is. Maybe. I don't know. But if I had to put my money on it, I don't just think Sean Brady wins. I think he finishes him. And I think he finishes him by KO or TKO. So, quick recap. Again, my first time doing it, right? I don't really have a good background. Wife's in there vacuuming and doing all that other stuff. I got cats and healers and everything else in here. So, I'm just going to start from the beginning. Just a quick breakdown of the bets if I was to bet. I'm taking Romashka over Fletcher. I think he's too big. I'm taking Andre Petrosky over Dylan Bucka. I don't see Dylan Bucka out-grappling Andre Petrosky. I'm not betting on this fight, but if I was, I'm taking Jacqueline Amora over Vanessa Demopoulos. I don't think Vanessa Demopoulos has won a clear fight ever. She's a fan favorite, and that's understandable. Well, so is Molly McCann. Shit happens. Gabriel Santos versus Yiza. Yiza's 25-4. I'm sure he's a stud. But, man, everybody who walks in here the first time, they get a real quick snapshot as to what it is to see real speed, real power, guys who've earned that spot to get here. That's just my bet. Santos. Andre Lima versus Felipe Dos Santos. Oh. Felipe Dos Santos is like 23. And, dude, he is tough as shit. Oh, my God, he's tough. And he throws hard. He throws hard on every shot. I'm taking Andre Lima, though. He did so good against Igor Severino, which I thought Igor Severino was a world beater. Until he bit that dude, until he bit him, I was like, man, this guy is like every strike is right on point. He's small, which I mean they are, but the speed and the power and he really impressed me. And I think, honestly, in my personal opinion, if he didn't bite Lima, he would have won that fight. That's neither here nor there, right? That shit don't matter. But that being said, I am taking Andre Lima. I think Dos Santos is good, but I think if it goes, I think Lima's got the cardio to take him to that third round because they're going to be grappling and flipping and spinning and rolling and throwing punches and elbows and knees. I genuinely think Lima has the cardio to beat Dos Santos. I think Dos Santos will gas himself out. Again, Dos Santos might smoke him in the first round. I wouldn't be surprised either way. Next, Dolgarian versus Moreau. To watch what Christian Rodriguez has done and to watch how Dolgarian did against him, I don't see Moreau having a shot. I mean, he might throw some kind of crazy shot or some shit to win. I'm taking Dolgarian. And, actually, I'm taking Dolgarian in a decision. I think after his last one, a lot of people are going to think, oh, man, I'm not going to leave it up to the judges. It's hard to finish fights, right? Unless you're a heavyweight, welterweight, middleweight. It's hard to finish these guys, right? They're small. They're all tough. They've all been through 30 fights before they even get in the UFC. I'm taking a decision. Well, I guess he is 55, right? Yeah, I guess he's 55. Still, taking a decision. Rong Sha versus Padilla. I think Padilla is infinitely quicker, for sure, and I actually think he's stronger. I've seen Padilla fight, although the fight I saw, it didn't go his way. But he does hit extremely hard. He's quick, he's game, he's not afraid. Rong Sha, I'd be lying to you if I told you I watched him fight. I watched one of his fights, and it was lackluster. So I'm actually taking Padilla. Trevor Peek versus Yanel Ashmus. I'm taking Trevor Peek. I think he breaks him. I think Yanel Ashmus is used to fighting fighters who fight the same way he does, right? Hey, we'll take 1-2, right? We'll step back. We'll judge. Nobody's expecting, and it's not even the weird hammer fist, but Trevor Peek throws constantly. Like, even if he's backing up, at any given moment, he's going to start just swinging. And he does have power. He's got good low kicks. He's tough as a pine knot. I'm taking Trevor Peek. Again, Yanel Ashmus has a real good shot of winning. He does. But, again, taking Peek. Quick rundown. Schnell versus Durden. I think Durden's shit. I think Schnell's shit. I understand they have to fight. Matt Schnell's chinny as fuck. Watching what Steve Ursig did to him was embarrassing. Cody Durden, to me, is mid at best. That's just my personal opinion. Steve Garcia versus Kyle Nelson. Kyle Nelson is tough as fuck. He finds a way to win every time. But I think he's meeting the truth of Steve Garcia. I think Steve Garcia's his boxing, his ability to walk you down and not ever back up. Kyle Nelson does a good job of being the tough man in a tough man contest. He's not winning that contest with Steve Garcia. Just being honest with you. Jessica Andrade versus Natalia Silva. I fucking love Jessica Andrade. If she wasn't a lesbian, I'd marry her today. Natalia Silva's too fast. She moves incredibly well off her back foot. She's constantly striking and moving and push kick like a Michelle Watterson, but on. Do you know what I mean? I don't see Andrade's path to victory. I see going a lot like the Yang Xiaonan fight. She's going to step in when she don't need to step in. I don't think Natalia Silva finishes her, but I do think she absolutely mollywops her and wins 30-27, unanimous. Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. Taking Sean Brady. I think it's a TKO. I think his hands are extremely underrated. I think he's extremely strong, extremely fast. He's riding high. You got to think, his only loss was to the actual champion at welterweight. Say what you want about Bilal Muhammad, but that bitch wins. He wins, right? He beat Gilbert Burns as well. Beat him differently. That's fair. But I do think Sean Brady has come into his own. He's got over the shell shock. He's got over the limelight. He's got over everything it is he needs to get over. I absolutely think Sean Brady smokes him. I don't think he subs him. I don't think he wins a decision. I think he TKOs him in the third or fourth round. Again, my opinion. Guys, lads and lasses, I appreciate you listening. Again, if you have any tips, tricks, anything you guys want to hear, or anything I should probably do better, by all means, put it in the comments. I'm not that guy. So anything you have that can do better, please let me know. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I hope I see you soon. Later.